all the presenters before me sounds very quantitative and technical and hard to understand. But what I'm going to talk about, probably everyone here has something to relate to. So, okay, all right. My research interest really concerns about how I'm going to understand how consumers form their judgment, how they form their preferences for products or services, and whether their decisions or choices can lead to an enhanced consumer well-being. So I study how consumers try to figure out what is good, what is bad, and out of a lot of options, how to make the best choice. Okay, and especially I want to understand whether they actually feel these choices would, indeed make them better off. Okay, so in studying how consumers make choices and make judgments, something has emerged regarding to Chinese consumers. A defining characteristic, I would put it in, basically, I found that Chinese consumers are heavily influenced, or they are overly influenced by the external cues in their decision making. Okay, these external cues include marketing message type of information. For example, advertisement, brand, okay, price-related signals, media kind of report, as well as some country of origin type of signals. And also includes other people's behavior. So I look at how other people are, buying. What are considered as the popular items or the most rated, on top of the ranking chart. That type of things. How that, influenced my choice making. So I've noticed that Chinese consumers are heavily influenced by these external cues. I put overly influenced because I think it is natural that consumers will take these external information into their judgment and decision-making process. It's pretty natural. We are information processors, right? However, it seems that Chinese consumers are overly driven by these external cues. They lack of independent judgment. So, for example, you guys are probably pretty familiar with the incidence of the magic of green beans. So everybody was bought into the idea that the green beans actually can cure everything. It was just, basically, it was just out of one man's mouth, and everybody actually believed it. And they were engaging in the practice that would really put green bean on, pretty much on their each meal of the dinner table, right? And also, you've seen this incidence of Da Vinci furniture. So basically, it was some furniture actually made in, China, and put on a label of Italian, sort of country made country of origin, and made a lot of people to believe that this is actually a very high-end, high-quality type of products, right? So you see all these incidents of basically expressing the idea that Chinese consumers are not really easily swayed by these marketing-related signals or cues, and this can actually make them very vulnerable to these marketing sort of tactics or the tricks that people play, right? So to explain this phenomenon, I think there are two sides to this issue of phenomenon. Okay, one is related to the economic development of this country. Basically, we know that we are only at the stage of very early beginning of a market reform from a planned economy to a market-oriented economy. So Chinese consumers just recently start to have the freedom, or they start to have the ability to actually be able to choose from a very abundant supplies of choices or options, right? They have this freedom, but they actually are short of information. They're short of experience. They're not experienced because they haven't been facing these kind of consumption decisions for a very long history, right? So in that sense, they're not informed, they're not experienced, so that they have to rely a lot on what the market or the marketers tell them which one is the best for them. Okay? And from another side of the story is that I think because of the cultural background we have, because think of a Chinese culture, right? East Asian culture is being characterized as the more sort of collective or interdependent. So basically, we are more heavily influenced by how other people think. The group kind of norms that play a very heavy role in our decision making. Okay, that also contributes why Chinese consumers, really are brought into the ideas of having to listen what the market tells them what is the best to choose, rather than form their own independent judgment, have the kind of confidence in their own cultural beliefs or value system. Okay, so I think we are on the road of approaching to becoming more mature in the time to come, but there is still a lot of things to overcome, the challenges, because of the stage we are at in this course of the economic development, and as well as our cultural heritage in our blood. So we have a lot of challenges to overcome in the time to come. Okay, thank you very much.